You are kind of helping train the technology to take your job, just as it's happened over and over and over again. So we have to be ready for what's the next job, because if your job was doing square roots, calculators were kind of problematic for you.
That's right.
You basically take a printed report from one computer and you type it into another. So you're basically a human API. There was just a huge article that came out. MIT announced 95% failure in AI pilots the other day. And I think part of the problem is because they're thinking of it from a corporate view instead of thinking at it from the individual view, because I think that's where all the little gains are. All the people I talk to, it's the individuals that get the gain. This is really important. If you're using AI to help you as a thought assistant in an area that you're knowledgeable about, you can both identify hallucinations, but more importantly, you can assess the value.
You said two things there that I just think are gold. The first one is, if you're working in an area of expertise that you don't have and you're using AI, the risk of you missing something goes up. And I think it's a great reminder that you can use AI in your own area of expertise. It's not about knowing what you don't know. It's about complementing what you know to move faster through what you know.
When Fifi Lee, who was a big AI person at Google and then went to the Stanford Human-Centered AI Institute, she was interviewed by Reid Hoffman about this question. She just said, well, we're just trying to teach the ethics to the people that we have at Stanford the best we can so they make the right decision, which was not a great answer. He asked Mirai, who was at OpenAI, she was the CTO, she's not there anymore. He asked her, and her answer was, well, we're just going to go as fast as we can until we hit something that slows us down. And our strategy to answer your concern is we'll just be as open as we can be, which again is not the right answer.
This is very Buddhist principle that I say a lot, which is what you stare at gets bigger. And so if I'm looking at the absence of opportunity, if I'm looking at loss, well, that's what I'm going to see. But if I'm looking at free time, if I'm looking at thinking time and saying, wow, what could I do with that space that I'm currently not able to?
If you look at it as a way just to save money and chop heads, you're not going to get the full benefit out of it. If you look at it as a way to untether your people from some of the tedious, shitty work that they don't want to do, or is an inhibitor to their productivity, then you grab innovation.
It was a bunch of executives and it says, what do we want? And they cheer AI. And then they say, when do we want it? Now. And then they go, what do we want it for? And it's just like 3 dots, right? It's just sort of quiet because they didn't know. They just know they should be doing it.
Right.
But I live by the principle that it's easier to act your way into new ways of thinking than think your way into new ways of acting. And what you're hitting at is experimentation is a good thing.
Right.
You just have to try it. And if you're afraid that by trying it, I'm going to lose, here's the thing. You're going to lose anyway. You're going to lose faster, actually, because you won't adapt your skill set over time. I think a lot of people try to shortcut the algorithm sometimes and try to maybe get rich quick on the platform by chasing things. And I just love your story of it's about mining, harvesting, being consistent, and just getting with sharing and really not expecting anything back. And then all of a sudden someday there it is. And you get this recognition. I've heard similar stories from other folks that have been on this podcast.
And chasing the algorithm is just a mistake because the algorithm changes all the time. And you'll see the reaction to your stuff change all the time. So for me, it's a much easier strategy just to be kind of true to what you're trying to do and just be in your own voice and just do it. And, one of my basic hypotheses is out of the 6 billion people or 8 billion, whatever the number is now in the world, hopefully some small sliver will find what you're saying interesting and you can build a community, but it's really a really small sliver on that big giant number. So just be true to who you are, and then hopefully there's some other people that appreciate that point of view and appreciate that opinion and come into your community. Be curious and learn to dance because what you do today is not going to be what you do tomorrow. When all the kids used to work for me, I would say, this is not going to be your last job. So be ready to dance and be ready to learn and stay curious.
I love that. And I think those are truly words to live by.